Hello everyone, hope you are doing good. Welcome to Amrita IAS Academy's weekly current affairs series. In today's session, we'll be covering the most important economics related current affairs that happened around the week. My name is Rasna Jawahar. So, let's start with our first topic. It is the RBI's digital scam compensation framework. So, first let us understand the context. So, we all know that India is turning into a digital economy. The volume and value of India's digital transactions continue to grow rapidly. And as per the National Payments Corporation of India's latest reports, the transaction value or the digital transaction value in India has crossed the 28 lakh crore mark. As the electronic transactions grew, along with that, the cyber fraud complaints have also increased more than tenfold. So, according to the data from the National Crime Reporting Portal, in 2021, around 2.4 lakh people reported digital payment frauds. On the other hand, by 2025, around 28 lakh people reported digital payment frauds. And globally also, India has one of the world's highest digital fraud rates. So, it is in this context that the central bank, the RBI, is trying to introduce reforms in the digital scam compensation framework. So, let us know what are the important details about the latest scheme. So, what is the scam compensation framework? The framework is a regulatory financial safety net designed to protect bank customers from digital payment frauds. So, basically it is a framework to protect bank customers like you and me from digital payment frauds. It upgrades the RBI's 2017 circular, which only protected against unauthorized hacking. What is unauthorized hacking? Unauthorized hacking we are all familiar with, wherein the hacker uses his or her technical skills to get into our system, into our computers or phone, and they start stealing our data, including the banking credentials and passwords. So, for example, they will be tricking us into downloading certain malicious applications or clicking on certain links, and the hacker gets control of a computer, and then they steal our data, and using these data they conduct the financial transactions. So, this kind of unauthorized hacking was the only category of digital fraud that covered under RBI's 2017 circular. On the other hand, the present circular tries to expand the horizon of this digital fraud, and it includes the authorized push payments, where the victims are manipulated into voluntarily sending funds, and organized mule account networks in addition to unauthorized technical hacks. So, the present framework aims to cover authorized push payments. So, basically we all know that the latest financial frauds come under the category of authorized push payments, wherein the hacker will call us, and he will be presenting some hypothetical scenarios like a digital arrest, and he or she will be coercing us into giving our financial details, including the OTP or the password, etc. So, basically they will be manipulating the customer into giving the details. So, these kind of hacking are called the authorized push payments, and the framework also covers the mule account networks. So, basically these scammers operate through lakhs of mule accounts, the accounts that these hackers use to layer the money and transfer the money, and along with the traditional unauthorized technical hacks. So, three things are covered under this compensation framework. So, basically the RBI's mechanism introduces fraudulent electronic banking transactions as a legal concept. And what is the benefit of it? Individuals will be eligible for reimbursement even if they accidentally shared the credentials due to deception or coercion. So, that is the benefit of the scheme. So, they are bringing the fraudulent electronic banking transactions as a legal concept. So, let us look at the key features of this policy. So first feature is the compensation scheme proposed by RBI. So individual victims suffering from scam losses up to rupees 50,000 can claim either 85% of their net loss or a maximum of rupees 25,000, whichever is less. For example, the RBI has given a further clarification. For example, for losses below 29,412 rupees, the victims get exactly 85% of the amount. For losses between 29,412 rupees and 50,000 rupees, the payout is capped at a flat 25,000 rupees. So you don't need to study or learn the exact figures. Just understand that it covers the losses of up to rupees 50,000. So the victim can get a compensation of either up to 85% of their money or rupees 25,000, whichever is lesser. Now, one important point that you need to notice is that scams exceeding rupees 50,000 are completely excluded from this specific reimbursement program, and this financial remedy can be claimed only once in a customer's lifetime. So even if you get duped multiple times, you won't be getting compensation every time. You'll be compensated only once. And for joint account holders, only one of the holder can claim. Now, what is the cost sharing model under this framework? So it's a three-way cost sharing model wherein the RBI will be contributing the maximum amount up to 75%. The rest is contributed by the customer's bank, that is the victim's bank, and the fraudster's bank, to which the amount was transferred. So the three entities or the three stakeholders, that is the RBI, the customer's bank and the fraudster's bank, will be contributing the compensation. And as per RBI, the scheme will be active from January 1, 2027. Now, another key feature of the policy is the RBI defines customer negligence, bank negligence and third party negligence. Now, as per RBI's circular, what are the things that are covered under customer negligence? So, customer negligence include sharing the passwords, PIN, OTPs, downloading malicious applications, ignoring clear scam warnings from the bank, failing to promptly report frauds or loss of cards, not updating the registered contact details. Customers are ineligible for compensation if they ignore clear directed security alerts, or when they fail to link their current phone number or email address with the bank, which blocks real-time fraud warnings. So these are the things covered under customer negligence. On the other hand, the RBI also defines what is bank negligence. So it is deemed to occur if a bank fails to send mandatory transaction alerts, lacks a 24/7 fraud reporting infrastructure, or fails to act promptly once it is notified about a fraud. And third category is the third party negligence. So what is a third party? So let us understand. So usually when a banking transaction is done, two parties are involved, right? The customer and the bank. But under electronic transactions, one more stakeholder is involved, that is a third party stakeholder, such as the payment gateway aggregator, for example the Visa, the MasterCard or the Razor or Pay, such entities which facilitate the transaction between the customer and the bank. So these are the third party aggregators or the stakeholders. So sometimes digital frauds occur because of the negligence from the third party. So the customers are not held liable for security leaks occurring because of the third party negligence. So in those cases, the third parties are held accountable. So the policy covers all the three types of negligences. Now, another important feature is the grievance redressal introduced by, or the grievance redressal format introduced by the RBI. What is it? What is it included? So basically, to qualify for a payout, the customer must report the fraud within 5 calendar days of its occurrence to both their bank and the National Cybercrime Helpline, which is 1930. And there is a clear timeline for the banks also. The banks must resolve domestic digital fraud cases within 45 calendar days and cross-border cases within 60 calendar days. And there is one more additional responsibility on the banks, that is, the banks are required to send instant cost-free SMS alerts for all electronic transactions exceeding rupees 500 to maintain a reliable communication channel for users without internet connectivity. So these are the important grievance redressal framework that is suggested. Let us also understand the institutional safeguards that is given under the framework. So one is the digital platform called mulehunter.ai. So it is a centralized AI or machine language tool designed to specifically detect, flag and freeze the mule accounts. So mule accounts, I have already mentioned, these are accounts used by scammers to layer and move the stolen money. So the mulehunter.ai platform, it is designed to detect, flag and freeze the mule accounts. And second important institutional arrangement is the Indian Digital Payment Intelligence Corporation. What is it? It is incorporated as a Section 8 company, that is a not-for-profit company under the Companies Act 2013, and it is envisaged to act as a central intelligence unit for financial frauds. So basically the platform uses big data analytics to identify fraud patterns across different payment applications simultaneously. So basically it helps to stop coordinated scams before they go viral. So it is a very important preventive step adopted by RBI to prevent digital scams. So with this we conclude the first topic, and now let us move on to the second topic. So the second topic is an important topic, that is the She Leaps scheme. We all know that for our prelims and also especially for the mains examination, the topic related to self-help groups, SHGs are very important. So the She Leaps scheme is something related to the self-help groups. Okay, so the She Leaps stands for Self-Help Entrepreneur Livelihoods and Enterprise Application for Prosperity and Sustainability. So what is this? It is nothing but a digital platform to empower women associated with self-help groups. So it is very important to understand that it is a digital platform to empower women associated with self-help groups. So what does it do? It helps or it supports livelihood creation, enterprise growth and financial inclusion for rural women. And it supports both farm and non-farm rural enterprises under this scheme. So let's also have a few more details about the scheme. So it was launched on June 2026 at the Rashtriya Gramin Vikas Sammelan held in New Delhi. The She Leaps mobile application has been developed by the Digital India Corporation and implemented under the Lock OS platform. What is Lock OS? It is important to understand. Lock OS is a digital system designed to capture the activities of community-based organizations across India. Community-based organization means all those organizations organized by the community. For example, we might have a few village level organizations, certain cooperatives. So all these come under the community-based organizations. And the program She Leaps will be implemented in 34 states and union territories. And what does it do? It captures real-time operational data across sectors. For example, right from the time of the profile creation to the enterprise performance tracking. So it basically the digital platform tracks each and every step of the enterprise, right from the time of its induction to its performance and the direction in which it is going. If it is making profit, then what is the level of profit it is making, if it is inducting more people onto the platform. So all these important data will be collected and collated under this platform. So the ministry states the goals for this program. So what are the stated goals? basically empowering the rural SHG women entrepreneurs nationwide, creating and strengthening women-led enterprises, integrating rural producers with formal value chains, enhancing the financial inclusion of self-help groups, and also enabling data-driven rural entrepreneurship. So these are the stated objectives of the She Leaps program. So with this, we conclude our today's session. Thank you all for joining.
Amrita IAS Academy.